Nerve cells, or neurons, are the building blocks of the nervous system. They are specialized cells that communicate with each other to process and transmit information throughout the body. Neurons have unique structures, including dendrites and axons, which allow them to receive and send signals to other cells.
This is presented to you by Education 4708. Just proceed to view the full content.
Disclaimer: the content on this channel is meant only to provide helpful insights, tips, and information on certain subject or topic. While we strive to provide accurate and up-to-date knowledge, this is not a substitute for professional advice. Always consult a qualified expert or professional for your specific needs. We encourage you to use this content as a guide for learning and additional information. If you think this does not fit what you want, please skip the video.
Nerve cells, or neurons, are the building blocks of the nervous system. They are specialized cells that communicate with each other to process and transmit information throughout the body. Neurons have unique structures, including dendrites and axons, which allow them to receive and send signals to other cells. Structure and functions of neurons: cell body, or soma, the main part of the neuron where the nucleus is located. It maintains the cell's health and integrates incoming signals. Dendrites. These are branch-like structures extending from the cell body. They receive signals, or information, from other neurons and convey these signals to the cell body. Axon, a long, thin structure that transmits signals away from the neuron to other cells, including neurons, muscles, or glands. The axon ends in axon terminals, which release chemical messengers. Step-by-step process: how neurons and dendrites work. Imagine you accidentally touch a hot stove. This example can help illustrate how neurons work to process and respond to this sensory input. Step 1. Signal reception: dendrites. Dendrites on a sensory neuron in your fingertip detect the heat and potential pain from the stove. These dendrites receive the incoming electrical signals, called action potentials, which represent sensory information. For example, the heat is sensed by receptors in the skin, and a signal is generated in the nearby sensory neuron's dendrites. Step 2. Signal integration, also known as the cell body or soma. Once the signals arrive at the cell body, they are processed to determine the strength of the stimulus, which in this case is the heat. If the signal is strong enough, the neuron will pass it along, creating a new action potential that travels down the neuron. For example, if the heat is intense, it triggers the neuron's threshold, prompting the neuron to send an alert signal to the brain. Step 3. Signal transmission, axon. The action potential travels down the axon to the axon terminals. This electrical signal moves in a wave-like manner, which allows it to travel rapidly over long distances within the body. For instance, the signal travels up your arm, from the fingertip neuron to neurons in the spinal cord, which then relay the signal to the brain. Step 4. Signal transfer, synapse. When the action potential reaches the axon terminals, it triggers the release of chemical messengers known as neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters cross the small gap, or synapse, between neurons and bind to receptors on the next neuron's dendrites, passing along the signal. For example, the neurotransmitters released by neurons in the spinal cord will pass the pain signal to neurons leading to the brain, where it's processed. Functions of neurons and dendrites. Neurons are essential for all forms of communication in the nervous system. They carry information throughout the body to allow you to sense, move, think, and react. Dendrites are crucial in gathering information. The more extensive a neuron's dendrite branches, the more information it can collect from other neurons. Example summary. In the hot stove example, sensory neurons in your hand detect the heat and relay the information via a network of neurons. Dendrites receive the initial signal, the cell body processes it, and the axon transmits it to the next neuron, creating a quick reaction that allows you to move your hand away. This sequence is critical for fast responses and shows how neurons work together to process complex information in real time.